that side and I'm that side now. Have we reversed, have we?
No, here we are. Hello and good afternoon. I don't know if anyone can actually hear us, but here we are. So we've got 4 people here. If any of you can hear us, please speak now. This is Winford, Vaughan, Thomas.
Nice to meet you.
And here we are. Winford has just completed painting a beautiful mural at the Magnet in Broadstairs. And we are just going to chat about that and other matters this afternoon.
Yes.
So, Winford, introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your story.
Well, I've been a painter for over 50 years. And obviously you recognise my accent from the run there.
So we say cheers to you.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Wacky gar, as they say.
But
cheers to you.
I've been living in the southeast for 46 years. People say, why is that? Well, the story is my auntie Margaret, who passed away many moons ago, she met a man of Kent during the war in St. Athens. So when I was a little boy, I used to have my holidays in Kent rather than Barry Island. Nothing wrong with Barry Island. Both called Aberafon. But we came down to Kent to see orchards, pears.
A bit of what was it called? The Catherine Zeta-Jones, the Darling Buds of May.
Yes, very similar. But I didn't end up with...
you didn't end up with Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I was going to say Michael Jackson.
Now, can you all hear me? Kaz Williams says, good afternoon and lovely to see you. And a gentleman with an absolutely beautiful Welsh accent.
Oh, lovely.
So say hello to Kaz Williams.
Oh,
I don't know if Kaz is...
Williams, very nice.
I think
Williams
Williams is a good Welsh name.
Williams, Thomas and Evans, that we want.
So I don't know...
Sounds like a fluters in Tornapandy.
Abby says Catherine Zeta-Jones is from the Mumbles. Have you ever been to the Mumbles?
Well, funny enough, last year I had my first exhibition, a joint exhibition in Swansea. And it was in the Volcano Gallery, which is a new gallery, not far from the Glyn Gallery. And it was all to do with Ukraine, raising money for Ukraine. And I met a lot of international artists there, and it was orchestrated by a great friend of mine, a great poet, David Greenslade. Anyway, it was successful, like with publicity, but financially, well, no one's got any money down there.
Oh, well, you know, that's always the way with an artist. You know, everyone comes to the free drinks party, but they don't buy the art, do they?
Well, that's right.
You know, your friends turn up, but they don't buy anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's always...
Well, we always
stipulate the weird, wacky one.
We don't want any plastic cups. We want plenty of glass, proper wine glasses.
So an art gallery should always have real glass.
Oh, without the
Well, I like my wine picnic style. Winford likes what he calls posh style. So Winford and I, you know, we are a little different, but we've both been up since 4 a.m. Winford's been painting. I've been writing a few words. It's been pouring with rain, and finally now, just for you, the sun has come out.
I know, Sod's Law.
Sod's Law, we're indoors.
Yes.
Here we are talking to all of you.
And I've got my shorts on.
It's so lovely to be talking to all of you. I hope you can all hear us. Hillary asks if I've lost weight. Well, I don't know about that. I don't think so.
No.
I wish I could gain some. Yes, but...
Start drinking Guinness.
I did try drinking Guinness, but I'm not really suited to that. Abby says, I know the Glyn Vivian Gallery.
Oh, yes.
So what do you know about the Glyn Vivian
Well, it's
Gallery?
it's a very decent gallery in Swansea. I mean, it's only that, and with the National Museum of National Museum of Wales in Cardiff, they got some lovely Frank Brangwyn stuff. Now, see, they got a lot of bit of Frank's work in Swansea, which actually was designed for the House of Lords, but it was a bit so risque, like, you know, but they had to take all the panels down, and I think they're in Swansea somewhere, in the Frank Brangwyn Hall. Great
we spoke about Kevin Williams.
Yeah, but he's a North Walian boy.
Oh, he's North Wales.
Yeah,
okay,
well, we're all Valley boys, like, innit? But no, he's done very well. Well, he was. I think they used to call him the Welsh Van Gogh or something, you know. But it's all very dark. Well, it's
slime green.
Yeah,
the slime green painter.
Very dark paintings, but very expressionist. Well, I'm an expressionist, but I'm a bit of a surrealist type, as you can imagine already. Like a bit of a symbolist, a bit of everything.
And well, Winford has been painting about a story. Why don't you explain your story of what you painted at the Magnet? So the Magnet in Broadstairs, to all of you that don't know, which I don't think anyone watching this will not know, is the local community hub of Broadstairs, run by the lovely Will and Nikki and their wonderful team of staff, the lovely Sam, the delightful Karen, and all the rest of the people that work there. Absolutely fantastic place. And Winford has painted a story on the side of the building. Now, Winford, do you want to explain a little bit about this story?
Well, I will do it because the germ of this story took place many moons ago, well, before lockdown. When they first took over the pub, I knew Nikki before because she's a Chatham girl and I actually live in Rochester. And they asked me, would I do some drawings for them? And I did some drawings of the local musicians. By the way, I'm a musician myself. You know, I'm into jazz. I play the sax. I play guitar. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I said yes, of course I will. And Will said, right, we'll sort this out. And then, of course, you know, the heavens opened up and the rest of it, and we had lockdown. But since then, 4 years later, Will has said to me, the wall is ready, Winford. The wall is ready.
Well, the wall is ready for Winford.
Well, yeah, the wall is ready for Winford. And he said, you can do your Cubist jazz. Now, you see, I've always been a great admirer of Cubism, you know, with Picasso, Braque, and the rest of it, you know, but also being very technical. I went to a grammar technical school, both grammar technical school, years and years ago. So I like drawing a lot of straight lines. Also, I worked as a graphic designer and paste-up artist in London years ago. So now I combine all those elements together, and I did a lovely drawing for them on a watercolor drawing, which is completely different to the real job, because the real job is like done on bloody flint and the bloody rest of it all. The wall is not smooth, it's all higgledy-piggledy. So I had to come up with a concoction that would make the imagery from my watercolor work on his outside wall, like, you know.
And the wall is a very difficult space, isn't it?
The surface,
because you've got a mixture of spaces.
Oh yeah, and you know, and which I like because with
so viewers, I'm going to try and show you a picture. We did put a picture up of the wall, but we will show you a little picture.
Yeah, and if you can enlarge it, you can see all you know, because it's that flint, like
now. Here we are. Oh gosh, no, I've pressed the wrong. See, technology is not my forte, as you all know.
These things happen.
Right, we're going right. So we're going to turn it around and try again. Yes, technology is something I'm more used to carrier pigeons, but here is the wonderful work of Winford.
Yes.
Now,
and you can compare that to the drawing that I produced, which is over on the corner by there.
Yes.
Right.
So Winford is going to bring a copy of his
working drawing, which would have been lovely on a piece of board or on a flat wall. But that's the working drawing. See, completely worlds apart. See.
Now there we go. You can see the working drawing.
Yeah. So
you can see the picture of the actual work of art.
Yes.
So there we go. So this is a wonderful thing. You know, this is a bit like the joys of painting with Bob Ross. Here we are.
Bob Ross with his fuzzy hair.
Yeah, he's got fuzzy hair. I've got my hair's a total mess. You know, We do have wine, so we're a bit. We at least enjoy our little chats because we're washed away with our craziness. But we've been up since 4 a.m.
Yeah,
and we've been
waiting for some sunshine, so we're in here.
Do we know that Bordada
means good day?
Means good morning in
Good
Welsh.
Morning, aye. Nostar.
So say good morning to Abby.
Oh, Bordada, Nostar, and Wacky da.
There we go. So we've got lots of lovely people coming in to join. It's all getting very welcoming.
It'll be a welcome in the hillside.
You'll be welcome in the hillside, I'm told. So welcome to you all. Abby says thank you.
Oh, diolch yn fawr.
I don't know what that means.
Very well.
So Winford has been painting for a long, long time.
Oh, a long, long time.
And when did you begin your painting?
Well, I used to draw on my mother's wallpaper when I was a little boy. All that Victorian wallpaper.
And why did you draw on the wallpaper?
Well, it's the only thing I could draw on, really.
Was it because you liked the wallpaper or you didn't like your mother? I
don't know. Well,
or you wanted to annoy your mother?
Well,
or you wanted to please your mother?
Mum was very sympathetic to it. Really. My mother was a good knitter. See, all the Welsh were good at knitting. She knitted all our pullovers and jumpers and everything, and bobble hats, this, that, and the other. But no, you see, my mother loved the garden, loved the flowers, this, that, and the other. And I've always been mesmerised by like flowers and roses and clouds. And they always said, "Oh, he's a bit strange, how Winford is. You know, he's." My mother used to say we didn't know where we got him from. Like.
Oh, so Winford was an escapee, and this is how Winford's creativity came about.
Well,
or was it inspired more by the Vino Veritas?
Well, in those, I suppose that must have been in my veins.
The wine was in his veins. Oh dear. Well, you see, this is what I always bring to you. I always bring people who have a different way of thinking. And in Winford, we have a man who thinks that the wine was in his veins when he was born.
Was. Yes.
So we say cheers to him.
Wacky da.
So there we go. I've learned about Welsh words too today. So this is all very jolly. Now, what else have you got? Have you any more questions? Because there's 17 of you now. We didn't announce the
conga line.
In the past, I used to have lots and lots of people, but we did not announce this today. So we're just starting off, and there's lots of you liking this. So questions are very welcome. You're very welcome to subscribe to the Steeples Times. You must follow Winford and Vaughan Thomas on Facebook. Please do that. That would be a great way.
Instagram. That's the other one.
No, but you're more of a Facebook. He's very prolific on Facebook. He's like. He's the Facebook.
Break out into song.
He's the face of Facebook, in fact. Every one of his works, you see them like 15 times a day. You know, the 15 times of Winford.
Yeah, trying to do the quick sale, you see.
Yes, so there's always a work to be had. So you're very welcome to try and buy some works from Winford. But there we go. So. Right, so what else shall we talk about?
Well, I have to talk about mixed gardens. A good friend of mine, Michael Davidson, he's a marvellous gardener. And this is like my little retreat from the madness of the Medway towns.
So the Medway towns, for those that do not know, the Medway towns is an area of England in Kent.
Don't get me wrong, I love the people in the Medway towns, but Mick is a real old-fashioned gardener, and his mother taught. And Mick is 82, you know, and he knows a lot about gardening. And he's built this little. I always call it the Garden of Eden. And every Wednesday, like the clock, I'm up there. Mick comes down, picks me up in his big red Jag, which I call the Red Dragon. And we go up there. He does his gardening.
Sounds a bit like John Prescott.
Two Jags. No, he's not got plenty. Wet.
He's only got one. Oh dear. He needs another.
Yeah.
They're very cheap these days. You can always find them one down eBay or somewhere, don't you?
Anyway, I spent about 3 hours painting a picture up there, and Vic does 3 hours garden. Then we retire into the avocado bar. He's got this lovely avocado.
Is that like the bathroom suites from the 1970s?
Yeah, I tell you what, it used to be a summer house the lady, the guy who owned the property years ago was Bob Bean. He was an old Medway Labour Party man. Anyway, Hillary, his wife, he passed away, and she only passed away. But they had a tennis court there, and they had a summer house there to change in, all this, that, the other. But now it's the Avocado Bar. So
the Avocado Bar.
So the Avocado Bar,
we only endorse the Magnet in Broadstairs and the wonderful Giovanni restaurant in Knightsbridge, London, and of course PJ's Fulham Road. Great places, all three of them. They are the kind of places that we need to go. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. There is somebody who is not paying attention to what they're told, but you know who that person is, because they always interfere with our podcast.
Well, there's always
one that has to cause you a bit of havoc, but we will keep going. So we're very glad that you can hear us, and Winford is here. So ask Winford questions about his lovely artworks. Come and visit and see the beautiful mural, which is going to hopefully get a visit from a local politician.
Yes, but I've been invited back down to the Mumbles, down to Swansea, for another exhibition there in October. And this is more about, it's called, what's it called? The Minotaur. The Minotaur. So I have supplied a drawing of a Minotaur in a pretty in the fashion of Picasso type, but different. But it's then again, it's the Minotaur in surrealism, because all these boys down there, they're all into like Andre Breton and surrealism and this, that, and the other, which I don't mind. I was interested in that when I was a student, but I find now I'm more an expressionist with nature and a bit of cubism.
Yes, well, so you really, our man here loves to mix things up. He loves to do variety is the spice of life.
Yes, that's right.
Your theory of how you paint?
I'm a poet.
He does poetry, a bit like my friend John Armstrong, the guy who I think I've spoken of before, who writes from Newcastle about all sorts of things to do with gold mining. Again, the Welsh valleys.
You see, I'm from the Rhondda, and that was like the biggest coal producer in the British Empire. My grandfathers were all coal miners, and they always told me stories about how terrible it was down the pit. And when I was a little boy, I thought I was going to go down the pit. Oh shit, I'm going to go down the pit. That was it, but it didn't happen like that, because we had National Health, we had bloody Labour Party came and the rest of it. So
what do we feel about the current Labour Party win?
Well,
what do you feel about Keir Starmer and the dreaded
listen now. I was a Labour councillor for a number of years in the Medway towns. Actually, I won a Labour seat that hadn't been taken since the war.
So you beat the Conservatives?
I did, yes, I did.
Oh,
and
back in the day?
Yeah. And then that was when it was Rochester City Council. But then I was a chairman there. Then I became a chairman on the Unitary Authority. Then it all went down the pan. It all went down the pan.
And why was that?
Well, two issues. I was on the Education Committee, and they wanted to close a school down in Gillingham, and I objected to that. And also, Mr. Blair took us to war with Iraq, and I thought that was enough for me. I was on that big march. I took my daughter on that big march during it.
Well, we've been sat here talking about Mr. Blair, and his book is there.
I know. But now, my missus, she does a lot of work voluntary for the Labour Party. But to me, it's not a Labour Party that I knew.
Abby says all political careers end down the pan.
That's right. We've all been down in Abby.
Abby, Winford.
You can borrow my donkey jacket.
Yeah, you can borrow the jacket. Abby also says she'd like to go to Giovanni and PJ's one day. Well, the Magnet is a bit far. Well, it's only a quick train ride from Victoria Station. You can go from St Pancras, which is a lot quicker, but I don't like going there because it's a bit. I like going. I live in the southwest of London, so I don't go to that area. So that's not for me. But
I keep thinking that Matthew is a Welsh rugby player there with his red shirt.
They think I'm wearing it red for rugby. Don't worry, I'm getting ready for the Epsom Derby at 4:30. I think Ambiance, whatever it's called, is the horse to back. My friend Oshin, lovely Oshin Murphy, a nice gentleman. I don't think he's going to win today. I don't think Tom Marquand is going to win, but keep an eye on the 4:30 at Epsom, the Derby, and you look forward to great racing there. And it's a great, the wonderful horse racing sport is something to celebrate.
Do you know what, Matthew?
Yes.
Horses are one of the most difficult things to draw and to paint.
Well, they can't keep still, can they?
Stubbs was a great painter of horses, but people don't realise that Toulouse-Lautrec was a great painter.
Oh, Toulouse-Lautrec! I've got a lovely book downstairs, which I
he's one of my favourite artists, Toulouse-Lautrec.
What a wonderful, talented man. Toulouse-Lautrec was a brilliant artist.
Brilliant draft.
And we were also talking about another wonderful artist who lived in France, Bernard Buffet.
Yes.
So what are your feelings?
Well,
about
I found him. I find his work very, very linear, very powerful linear, but so depressing.
And he was very prolific, a bit like Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Bob Ross, obviously.
That's water and wine, that is.
I know, water and wine. Water and wine. You see, I can even do a little bit of Welsh myself. I'm starting to sound like Indian. Here we go. So, water and wine. I don't know what that sounded like, but I know the last of the summer wine.
Oh, he's going back to Catherine Zeta-Jones, though. She did well, didn't she?
Oh, good old Catherine, yes. So my friend in Whitstable was a man called John Stoddart. He may be watching. Mr. Stoddart he turned up from Catherine Zeta-Jones' Darling Buds of May into Hollywood Siren. He took a photograph of her in the Dorchester Hotel in her underwear. And that made her become sexy Hollywood. And then she married Michael Douglas, and the rest is history.
And I saw a picture of him last week at the Monaco Grand Prix. He was there. And also that guy who was captain of Liverpool, he was there. All these people were there.
They all living La Vida Loca, whereas we're stuck in bloody England, where the rain never stops.
The sun has come out now.
But the sun is coming out, and the blue sky has arrived. It's obviously the arrival of all you lovely people in our audience. So here we are. So have you any questions for Winford, please? All politicals are down the pan. That's already been dealt with. I'm sorry if we didn't deal with the ones from before, but I'm useless at going backwards. Abby says her sister lives opposite Catherine Zeta-Jones's parents in the Mumbles. So the Mumbles. Tell us about the
Mumbles. Don't forget Swansea's very famous for Dylan Thomas, isn't it? Dylan Thomas lived there, isn't it?
Oh. Right. You know, and Winford needs a bit more wine.
Yeah,
Winford and wine go together.
Well, I think that
we do need a wine. We do need a wine sponsor for this particular episode. So, if any wine sponsors are watching, please get ready, and you could have your wine promoted on this very channel.
Yeah.
We need a Winford and wine.
Yeah, but going back to
it could be a Winford wines.
Going back to Dylan Thomas and the Mumbles, a very, very great Welsh painter, Kerry Richards. Kerry Richards was very influenced by Dylan Thomas. In fact, he did a lot of paintings about his poetry. I think they're in the Glenvivian Gallery, this, that, and the other. But also, only round the corner, you had bloody Augustus John, and then he was like the heartthrob, wasn't he?
Well, Abby announces that Bonnie Tyler lives in
yes, what a voice, what a voice.
Dylan Thomas was from Sketty, where I went to school.
Come Tonkin Drive or something like that. It was when he was born, and I think his father was a headmaster. I can't remember now. I think Paul Ferris did a biography on him. Lots of them have done, but yeah, he was a brave boy. He went out to the States, did a grand tour on his own.
Well, here we are. We've got them all. So So what do you think, Winford, about Diane Abbott changing the topic completely?
Well,
because Diane Abbott is taking over the agenda.
The only thing I know about Abbott is Abbott Ale. But I tell you, I think that girl has upset a lot of people.
So Winford does not want to go down the avenue of Diane Abbott and her 2 left shoes and her inability to use a calculator. So we won't go
no
any
disrespect, like, but no thank.
And what do you think of the Liberal Democrat leader going up and down a water slide?
Well, it's a joke, like, isn't it?
He's a joke. What would you call him, a clown, or would you call?
I think, you know. I mean, I know they're also like little what do you like isms? This that the other, try and get people's attention, or you know. But I think it's daft.
It's
daft. I know. Well,
I think that's a very good word for it.
That's a good old Welsh word, daft. I mean,
daft Diane.
Well, the thing is, if don't dress up like a bloody clown. Tell them your policies and tell them straight, so people know where to go and what to do.
And what do you think about throwing into the mix someone completely different, Eamon Holmes, and his divorce and how he's playing it out on GB News?
Well, I'm going to pass on that one.
You pass. You see, this is a sensible man who doesn't want to get involved in stupid subjects.
I like paintings.
Winford likes paintings. Now, which paintings? If you could have 5 paintings in the entire world, which 5 paintings would you take into your home?
That's a hard one.
What would be number 1?
Oh, number 1, Jericho. The raft of the Medusa. That's in the Louvre. That is. Ooh, he's a boy. What a marvelous draft.
So you'd like to liberate it from the Louvre.
Oh, it's a map, and you know, it's Christ. I like going back to Picasso. I like some of his Cubist musicians. I love that period. I like 1 or 2 from the Blue, but also, you know, I like Caravaggio, the dramatic stuff as well.
Like Caravaggio,
yeah. Oh, and I like little Marc Chagall as well. All his dreamy stuff like that sort of, and of course a few wacky dallies.
Yes.
You know, but also, I mean, I was living in bloody Kent. Turner, I love Turner's painting.
So you love the Turner skyscape?
Oh, the skies, the sky, or the sea. Well, if it comes, well, the BBC did a little program on my Turner trail. You see, I walked round the coast this Saturday with, look in Turner's footsteps.
So, Winford, of a local artist, what do you think of, say, Tracy Emin?
Well, pass.
You have to talk about Tracy Emin.
Well, I know. She does a lot of like expression and stuff, but it's so depressing. It's horrible.
And do you have any other local artists that you could highlight to the audience?
Well, there's loads of young artists out there with tremendous vision, and expertise and technical skills, but they don't get the light that like Tracy and Billy get. All these people, So,
do you think that those people are exploitative, or are they just of the problem?
Matthew, I'm not running the show, but I'm not running the show.
But you have a mural on the wall in Broadstairs.
Well, that's right.
You are a famous face yourself.
That's right.
You are very public.
Yeah.
You are doing public art.
But
Banksy
style. Yes, I know. Yes, but it didn't happen overnight. Like, I've been on the treadmill for years, like selling me wares and the rest of it. I mean, it's, I might make it sound easy, but no, a life of an artist, a painter.
Abby thinks she has the same opinion of you as Tracy Emin.
Yes.
So there we go. Well, we don't need the answer yes. That's a bit boring. But, we don't need Diane Abbott either. But it rained a lot in Wales, where I live in Richmond, which is where Abby lives. It's much drier.
Oh, Richmond is that's a lovely place.
I don't know. It could be Richmond, Surrey, or is that Richmond?
I think Turner had a house.
I imagine Abby is living in Richmond, Surrey, because she talks about Giovanni being nearer to her. But Richmond, Yorkshire is another lovely place, which is full of beautiful
I like
horses.
Yorkshire. I love Whitby. I love Robin Hood's Bay. I love all that coastal line.
No, she is in Richmond, Surrey.
Oh, right.
Right. So there we go. Daft in Welsh is twip. Is that true?
Twerp.
TWP.
Twerp. Little twerp.
Well,
a bit top.
Ah,
top or twerp.
I didn't know how. Well, there we are. I've learned something new.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. So, right, our next topic. Lots of you want to hear about the royal family. So, what does Winford think of the royal family?
Well, this is an awkward one because my mother was a royalist, and the other side, my father's side, were all communists.
So, what do you think of what did you think of the late Queen?
I liked her. I thought she did a good job myself. Do you know what I mean?
The Queen Elizabeth was a good lady.
I think she did a big job. That girl did, but it was hard
what
job.
What do you think of the current king?
Well, he's a tree hugger, isn't he? He's nice. He's a greedy man. We like
and
him.
what do you think of the lady I call Miguel?
Well, I don't.
Meghan Markle, who's become.
I don't pay much attention to that, to be honest.
You don't pay attention to that.
No,
okay.
but I think the Queen had a good
and
job.
now Abby is asking a question. What does Winford think of Fergie?
Farage?
No, Fergie, the wife of Prince Andrew, the ex-wife of Prince Andrew.
Fergie?
Fergie.
Oh,
I call her Fergie.
Well, I tell you what, she could drink.
She can drink. Have you experienced?
No, I don't know much about these people, to be honest with you.
So Winford is not involved majorly with the royal family, but many of you wanted to ask questions, according to Twitter, about the royal family. So that's why we brought this up. What do you think of the Jonathan Yeo portrait of King Charles? Asks Abby, and Abby is doing very well at asking many questions. Thank you, Abby, for all your questions.
Well, I was amazed of the size of it. I really was, and I know he had that butterfly on his shoulder type, didn't it?
It wasn't on his shoulder; it was lower down.
Yeah, it was like to do. It was a symbol of transformation from prince to king, or this metamorphosis, or this thing.
What do you think of the colour?
Well, I love the reds. Is that the only trouble is he made his hands look like pork sausages.
But his hands are. He has a problem with his.
And in all disrespect,
it was a truthful picture. In my view, I would say that was actually no bad thing, to be honest.
But I think it's a painting, it's a lovely picture, this, that, and the other. But when I think of the painting of the Queen when she was younger, done by Anna Guinea, well, that's super. That's brilliant.
So that's your favourite painting of a member of the royal family?
Yeah, the one Anna Guinea did of her. That was marvellous.
But of course, there are so many paintings of royals, and there was.
Well, I didn't like the one of Lucian Freud. He always, it's all thick and smudgy, and it's all makes them all look ugly.
Do you think that was cruel, or?
Well, that's the way he just saw things. I mean, that's an artist's approach. That's the way he is. It's like my cup. But I always say the painting that Anna Guinea did of the Queen. I don't really like that one. And the one he did of Princess Margaret. He did a lot. There's a lot of them in the National Portrait Gallery.
Do you think that Jonathan Yeo is a good person to go forward to do pictures of other members of the royal family, or do you think that should be?
Well, he's taken it in a different direction, and that doesn't mean it's going to be positive. And
how much do you know about his other work?
Well, I've seen a lot of his portraits, this, that, and the other, but to me, very little soul in them. They're very.
So you think that you need to see in the next portrait of the king something that gives more of his own personality,
especially all his work with the green issues in the world.
So you'd rather see a green painting than a red one.
Opposite to a red one, but no, I think the way he is, as he loves nature and this, that, and the other. And I think if an artist should, try and capture his soul rather than his image.
And do you think it is him moving on from the past of his
previous
marriage, his new life?
Well, I know, and I'm crazy.
Well, it's not new wife.
No, but he's going through the caboose. He's had cancer. This, that, and the other.
His transition with his children.
I know. It's all
one child who's got a very ill wife.
I know.
One child who
it's
allegedly estranged.
And the trouble is, you're in the public eye all the time,
and he's trying to juggle all those balls. And he's ill himself.
I know. I take my hat off to him. It's just hard work.
The next question from Abby is: did Winford like the recent portrait of Princess Catherine, which you mean the Princess of Wales? It was on the front of Tatler.
No, I haven't seen that.
He hasn't seen that one, so he can't comment on that. Harry's wife is sick in the head.
No comment.
He says no comment. Right. So, here we are. So we've covered the royals. Our next topic is Donald Trump.
Well,
do you think he's worthy of a painting, Winford?
I think his quiff is.
Would you use a certain color of a certain kind of orange?
I'm sure he's had loads of paintings done of him. I mean,
well, there's been lots of humorous.
Caricatures. Mr. Trump is like Mr. Trump. Like, what comes next? He's a showman, and he's a showman.
Okay, well, what about Sleepy Joe? How would you portray him?
Well, it's a bit bland, really, with Sleepy Joe.
So he'd just be dull. He'd just be a dull. If you were to paint Donald Trump or Sleepy Joe, which would you prefer?
Trump just jumps off the canvas, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You could paint Sunak or Starmer.
None.
So are you saying they're both boring? So, of a British politician right now, who would you paint? Would you paint Farage or Anne Widdecombe? Who would you paint of a British politician?
British politician
living
today.
Right now, available right now, standing for office. So it could be neither Farage or Trump. Widdecombe. Of any British politician right now.
Well, I've met a few of them. And,
which one would you paint?
And my mate who did he win Burnley? What's his
Galloway?
Yeah, George. I met old George. He's a character.
Galloway?
I paint George.
You paint Galloway, but he's not going to win anything.
No,
he's about to go.
Whatever.
Right. So okay, Galloway rather than sipping Sunak or
Ricky Sunak. I got it.
Ricky Sunak. There we go. We've got a new name for him. I call him, the old drip, but, and I call Sunak the wet drip, but, the two drips together. But and then we've got
doesn't make a pint.
They definitely don't make a pint. They wouldn't even make a cup of Yorkshire tea. And Rishi won't be in Yorkshire for much longer anyway. Calling the election on the 4th of July was definitely a signal that he plans to go to America on the 5th of July. You've heard this here first. Do subscribe to the steepletimes.com and also support Winford and Vaughan Thomas on Facebook, because that's the place that he is most prolific. And I can assure you, he's very prolific in showing his artwork there. Do join in. So thank you very much for all of that to you. Good. We would love more of you to join in. We'll be doing lots more of these shows because this is actually quite fun. The next question is, would Winford paint Boris Johnson?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to have him in his parachute jump.
There we go. The parachute jump is Winford's preferred presentational skill.
Boris totally tangled up in it all.
Tangled up Boris does it for Winford. So what would you do, for example, if you had to paint Angela Rayner and her porn star son?
Well, I think we'd have to black a bit of that out.
So there'd be a bit of blacking out with Angela Rayner.
Being brought up Methodist
with the good old council house. What would we do with Liz Truss? Would you paint a lettuce or not?
I think we're still all in shock from that girl.
We're all in shock. There we go. So Liz Truss is a matter of shock. I've never ever heard it called anything else other than a lettuce. But there we go. We've got a new view on Liz Truss, expressed here first on steepletimes.com. Right. So let's think of something else. We've dealt with those kind of people, so we should talk about high society and low society.
Well,
who do you view to be the rising stars in Great Britain right now, and who do you view to be the detritus that are dragging us down?
The rising stars in society. Well, I think that's all like media based. All people on their smartphones, this, that, and the other day.
But have you got a person who you see out there who you think's actually doing something for the good?
Well, I'm sure there's loads of people out there trying to do something for the good, but I think it's like trying to sort it all out, because I think the amount of imagery out there in social media, it's very.
It's social. So to you, social media is the problem.
Well, I think it's like overpowering, Matthew. It's just there's so much out there, and.
Do you think that people should be limited in how much they can use social media?
Well, I think...
Or do you think that they are their own worst enemy? Or do you think that...
Well, I think there's only a certain amount a person can take, and I'm set.
Well, we need to keep talking about the world of social
I think
media.
It's very difficult. I think the shock horror stuff you see, on X and everything else, I think it's just too much. It's like a tidal wave on ordinary mortals all the time, and you don't have time to digest it. You don't have time to try and rationalize it. No. And also, I don't think we're equipped for having so much information thrown into
the mix of
yeah,
So you can't cope with the amount of
information. I think you have to be very disciplined to turn the tap off.
So we have to control the situation.
Well, without it becoming like fascist dictatorship and the rest of it. Right?
So social media is not something Wyn is really into, but Wyn enjoys the ability to share his photographs of his works on Facebook, for example.
Yeah, just pictures.
So he feels, I think, that, putting words into your mouth, that you
could be a hypocrite.
Actually think that he's a hypocrite who actually he uses it for his own self-promotion. Let's be honest. He's out there doing a bit of self.
Well, I'm doing out there. I've got my stall out. Put it that way.
He's got to sell a few pictures. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to buy a picture, you send me a message. If you want to buy, I'll put you in touch. We have to sell some pictures. Artists are useless at selling themselves. I have to say, we've got an artist shouting in the background. I don't know what he's doing. One of the ones that many of you know, he is shouting in the background and opening the door. But are you coming in? No, you're not to speak. Oh, for goodness sakes, come and sit down. Honestly, if you're going to, I do apologize, dear viewers. We have noise in the background. The noise will now stop. The door needs to be closed, but that's another matter. But anyway, never mind. Here we go again. Yes, Winford needs an agent, says Abby. TMB wants to know about the mural. Well, we will show you the mural yet again. Let's put the mural on the screen. There it is. You can have a look. You can now go and view this at the Magnet in Albion Street, Broadstairs. Please go and have a look. Please go and buy a pint of beer or a glass of wine or your local gin or whatever you prefer.
Selection of real ales.
Winford is pointing out there is a good selection of real ales as opposed to unreal ales. So you can go and drink to your heart's content. Right. So you don't like Sunak. You don't like Trump. Okay. Wish you could join us for a large glass or a bottle of red wine.
Oh, now you're talking, lovely.
That's Winford thinks that's a good form of talking. I'm going to pour myself a little bit more because I need a little bit more to be sure, as Granny Howard would always tell me. And we will move on to the next topic, which will be we've dealt with the Royals, we've dealt with the Rotters. We've dealt with Sunak. We've dealt with Keir Starmer. I shall think of the next thing. Oh, what do you think of Inspector Morse?
Oh, I still love that series.
Because we were looking at a book
earlier. Yeah, John Ford, marvellous actor. Yeah, with a Sweeney.
A completely random topic.
Sheila Hancock, marvellous actress. This time. Reminds me of Sian Phillips a bit. She's 90 now, Sian Phillips?
Yes.
Must be, isn't it? Because she was married to was it Peter O'Toole, wasn't she? You know.
But did you not love the fact that the Inspector Morse programs were all based on the music? So the music, the Morse code, the Morse code in the program was the clue.
You always loved it. You loved the opera singers.
No. The Morse code was the clue to the murder.
Yeah.
So you got the entire story was in Morse code.
Colin Dexter,
the most brilliant of writers.
Oh yeah,
we need more writers in the world like Colin Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to a more contemporary topic: the world of woke. As you all know, I hate woke.
What is woke?
I hate moron. Yeah, what is woke? Woke is nonsense. It is gibberish. Woke is cancel culture. Woke is the village idiot. It is the born in the barn moron that you wouldn't want at your birthday party. You wouldn't want them at your wedding. You wouldn't want them at your dinner party. You wouldn't want them anywhere. Woke people are boring. They are bombastic and they're bores. We don't like woke, do we?
No. I don't know much about woke myself.
So we're going to come to what is woke. But, you know, in the local pub, the Magnet, there is a thing. It calls itself a dragon. I don't approve of the dragon. Now, I've been told off being rude because you cannot be rude about a dragon. If you identify as a dragon, you're meant to be allowed to identify as a dragon. I don't think that is correct. You are either a man or a woman. You are born a boy or a girl. It doesn't, you know, if you want to be gay, good for you. I have plenty of friends who are lesbian, gay, you know, bisexual. Be whatever you want to be. Keep it to yourself. It's your own world. Enjoy your life. Have a wonderful time. You could be LGBTQ plus XYZ, whatever.
Yeah.
Add a 1 + 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to it, whatever. I had to watch this morning, and it makes me angry, a wonderful cooking show on the BBC, Saturday Kitchen. And it was all about gay pride. I'm sorry. I think gay pride, wonderful. Enjoy your gay pride. Gay pride, fantastic. Be proud of whoever you are. I think we should have straight pride. Let's have people celebrating that too. You know, if you want to be straight, be proud of it. But a cooking program is meant to be about cooking. And, you know, that should celebrate every Saturday. You know, people like my good old granny should be able to watch and learn how to cook roast chicken or, you know, a burger or whatever else they're going to teach you to cook. We don't need a lesson in gay pride on a cookery program. It is ridiculous. The world of woke makes me angry. And this is not correct. And the cancellation of wonderful people like J.K. Rowling is something that makes me absolutely irate. So my friend in Kensington owns a restaurant, a lovely man. He has 2 restaurants, in fact. And one of his customers is J.K. Rowling. And one of his other customers is Piers Morgan, because both of them live round the corner. And J.K. Rowling has made various comments about the world of woke. So, of course, she's anti-transgender. Leave J.K. Rowling alone. J.K. Rowling has taught children to read in this country. She has done more good for the world.
That's good.
Winford agrees. This is a woman who has encouraged millions of children to read books. And my friend has a restaurant, and she went to a charity dinner at that restaurant. And that restaurant has had bricks through its windows by these transgender woke idiots because they allowed a brilliant author who encouraged children to read into their space. I cannot stand these woke people. Shame on them. No, I won't calm down. But no, Winford, I shall ask you, what do you think of J.K. Rowling's right to express her opinion? Should she be allowed?
Of course she should be.
To say what she
freedom
does?
Of speech.
Is it correct that she speaks out against woke, or should she shut her mouth?
Well, no,
because they want her to shut up.
Well, I don't know what these wokey people are like. With myself, like, it's all a bit new to me, but I mean, I think she's a marvelous author, and she's brought a lot of imagination and happiness into children's lives.
But isn't it wonderful to encourage reading as opposed to encouraging children to play on computer games?
Oh, I've always said that. Well, the worlds apart, but having the page, the old page in front of you, well, that opens up doors for the imagination. You see,
yes, I think
of contemplation on the sentence.
So I grew up with swallows and Amazons because of my relationship with that situation. I sailed those boats. I grew up in that world. Enid Blyton. And our friend who's sitting here, who's going to be quiet because he tends to make a lot of noise, loves the tales of the unexpected. Roald Dahl. We love Roald Dahl, and he is being cancelled. I hate this cancel. So what do you think?
It's like Tolkien and all, the Hobbit and
were those people doing bad things?
No, I thought,
is that why they should be destroyed?
No,
Enid Blyton supposedly hated children. Agatha Christie went missing. So why don't we cancel all of these people? This is the mad world that we live in. I think this is crazy. I think we should celebrate wonderful authors.
Oh, I agree with you. I really do.
And I think that the treatment of J.K. Rowling, particularly, a wonderful lady who has made millions of children,
she didn't have it easy, did she? She had a hard time in the beginning,
right. So Abby says J.K. Rowling is an absolute hero. She stands up for all the normal people. I love Il Portico, a restaurant. Yes, a great restaurant. Please go there. Please support Il Portico restaurant. A wonderful place. They have had bricks through the window for allowing Piers Morgan and J.K. Rowling into their restaurant because these woke transgender people don't like the fact that this is a decent restaurant. Abby says Winford needs an agent.
Well, these things happen sometimes, yes.
Well, Winford has painted a mural and there's going to be a grand unveiling. And our wonderful friend Finn, who is sitting here with us, you all remember the lovely Finn. I'm not going to let him speak because, when he starts going, he gets to get carried away. The dragon, she sounds like an imbecile, the dragon. Yes, I totally agree. If you identify as a dragon, you should be put in a loony bin. That is my view. I think that is a totally stupid thing to be. My ex used to work at Il Portico before them. Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's a lovely place. All those ungrateful, untalented actors from Harry Potter should be ashamed of themselves. There'd be nothing without J.K. Rowling. Totally agree. But my friend Christopher was the man who created J.K. Rowling. And J.K. Rowling and her had a bit of a falling out at the end. But I have to say, I salute her for writing those books, the books under the pseudonym, the detective series, which I have copies of somewhere in front of me here. I've forgotten the Galbraith or something. I've forgotten the name of it. Anyway, right. Oh no, Winford needs more wine. Winford needs wine.
No, we want to keep the quality high.
So the Galbraith, the detective, anyway, I can't remember the name of it. The city program that was made on the BBC. Anyway, she wrote books under another name. J.K. Rowling is a community hero. People who are woke and who want to be a dragon, they're the fucking village bile. We don't need people like this in our lives. I don't want the woke. The woke must go. I have had enough of woke. I think
we've done enough on the woke.
So we're going to move on from woke. Well, we've done woke. So next.
What's next on the agenda?
Next on the agenda, let's say, what do you think of Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh, no, it's deep water. Deep water runs deep there.
Okay.
I mean, oh, dear me. What a sad tale.
Oh. What did you think of Robert Maxwell?
Well, being an ex-print worker, no comment.
Okay. Well, you don't want to do that. Right. My regular topics. So, let's move on to another topic. What do you think of Pam Ayres? She wrote a poem about me once.
I know you got the ump about it. You got the ump.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah.
I see her here.
She was quite funny. She's quite funny with her.
Do you like doggerel? I'm sure most of the viewers have utterly no idea about Pam Ayres or doggerel. So this is probably a very stupid move of mine.
It's all going to go ape shape now.
No. It isn't.
He's still got his Welsh rugby shirt on.
Here's Pam. Here's Spam, as I call her. Spam Ayres. Yes, she once wrote a poem about me. I think it went along the lines of this geezer, Matthew Steeples, me rotting K&C. He posted on my Twitter feed a photograph of me. I won't go on to the next bit. I went on about her cows. She likes cows, this woman. And look at her face. That says it all. She blocked me on Twitter, by the way. She's a real nasty cow. Jeffrey Archer and I moved to the bar and had a martini. That was a lot more fun. I can assure you that. So there goes Pam Ayres, thrown where she belongs. Anyway, so you don't have a view on Pam?
No, not really. Yeah, well, no. I mean,
and a doggerel?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, she used to do all these comical little poems.
But
and the singing postman.
but are people like that? The people of the 80s. What have we replaced them with? What do you think is the new generation of Pam Ayres? Is it Love Island or is it something else?
I haven't got a clue.
This is why I brought this up, because do you think that, a friend of mine wrote to me yesterday. He was on the thing called Survivor.
Was that everybody on
and he's island? Welsh, and they put him on an island.
Oh, yeah.
And, and he was a singer. And they threw him on an island, and he, she was doing this in the 60s, and he's been thrown on an island, and he wanted to be a musician, so he went on this program. So is this boy who does Survivor the new Pam Ayres? Is he a spam?
The mind boggles.
So I'm talking to a gentleman who paints and comes from a different generation to the social media generation. And that's why I brought in Pam Ayres, because Spam is on a different planet. Finn, sit down, please. We don't need any noise from the bathroom area. Oh, God. This is where he goes. This is what I do apologize, viewers. He's probably going to go making a racket in the lavatory area.
Anyway, come on. Where are we going now? Where are we going?
No, but are these reality stars the new Pam Ayres?
Do they?
Are they the new version? Because, she was the version in the 70s, 80s.
I don't watch things like Big Brother and all that sort of stuff. I'm always painting. I'm always working.
Yeah, we're moving along. So we've nearly reached 1 hour of conversation.
Well, I think that's enough, isn't it?
No, we're going to keep going for a few more minutes. Have we any questions from you, dear viewers? What is your thought on Julian Assange?
Well, I kept him locked up in the, what was the bloody embassy?
No, he didn't. No one kept him locked up. He chose to go there.
Yeah, he went there.
And he made lots of he was very dirty.
Well, he was a whistleblower type, and he aged like nobody's business, and that stress, duress he's been under. But now he can appeal against his case, can't he, in the States?
Would we release him? No. My personal experience of Julian Assange is that I know lots of people who gave Julian Assange lots of money. I know lots of people who think that Julian Assange is absolutely fabulous and that he's utterly wonderful, and they continue to think so.
Well, an old friend of mine, he's dead and gone now, an old lawyer, used to say to me, all men have got clay on their boots, Winford. All men have got clay on their boots.
But Julian Assange, my problem with Julian is he sues everybody who says anything he doesn't like. So he's a hypocrite. And,
you have inside information we don't know. We only see what's on the telly. And he looks like, this poor man who's been, whistleblowing against the States. All these secrets, and he's been banged up and been living in, what's that fucking embassy he was in?
The Ecuadorian.
The Ecuadorian embassy.
Well, it was next door to where I live. Yeah. So I used to have to.
So you had a cup against the wall.
And as you've seen when you visited here, I have a lot of his posters. Don't worry, I've got a whole collection.
I don't know.
I used to go there and I heard him speak from the balcony. And a lady called Sarah Saunders, I'm sure she won't appreciate me mentioning her name, but she gave him a lot of money and she allowed him to live in her house. City woman, she made a mistake in there, but she still supports him. It cost her a lot of money because he broke bail, so she had to pay a lot of money. Jemima Goldsmith, a lovely lady who's now allegedly going out with Gary Lineker, who I think is an absolute hero. Gary Lineker, you are the best. Brexit. Everybody who hates Brexit is my community hero. We love you. We think you're the best, Gary Lineker. Everybody attacking Gary Lineker, shut your mouth. I've had enough of people going on about Gary Lineker, so don't worry. I know that'll make me very unpopular, but I love Gary. I met Gary Lineker at a very, 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 very smart restaurant in Mayfair, and I have to say, I went straight up to him and I said, "You are an absolute hero of mine. Gary Lineker, you speak out, and you and Gina Miller keep saying it. The only thing of this election campaign, exit Brexit. That's the only thing that matters. We're not going to get it because we are an irrelevance. We are the hated minority. We are nobodies. We are detritus of society. But at least I stand up and I continue. The BNP tried to silence me. I had bodyguards. I fight back. I speak out against
I used to have
cowards.
Years ago
So here we go. Winford had death threats.
No,
here we are. We're back to now. Now we've got a story. Winford. So why did Winford have a death threat?
When I was with the Socialist Alliance after left the Labour Party, and we used to do a lot of.
You got a death threat for leaving the Labour Party?
No, I had death threats from the far. No, I had threats from the far right because I was speaking as a socialist. Like, I've had it, but I know about it. Got the T-shirt.
Yes, well, the cowards only give death threats.
Yeah.
They never actually.
It's not very nice.
They never ever carry them out.
Well, I mean,
if they want to kill you,
I mean,
they'll just come and stab you.
Yeah, but today, like, the other thing is like all the MPs today, like they all get all that type of stuff, don't they? It's all
Anyway, so here we are. Here's the dialogue. So anyway, we've just done just over an hour. So we will be ending this program very, very soon.
And he hasn't dropped the ball yet.
Well, we've done quite well. I'm glad you all enjoyed it that were present. Release Julian Assange, says Abby. Well, that's your view. TMRB says, where is Winford's accent from?
From the Rhondda, South Wales. Trialo, Tonopandi area, South Wales.
Right. Well, we say thank you very much. You're going to listen to the radio show about the Shivering Sands Fort. I do recommend that. That's a wonderful weekend listen. So please do listen to that. We will be coming back again soon to do another show.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for this podcast.
And we're going to do we may do a live video from the unveiling of the great picture.
Yes, right.
So you can.
And Matthew selling tickets.
So cheers to you, and cheers to me, and cheers to me if we disagree.
Au revoir.
Because the other person has taken all the rest of the wine, so I can't actually now have my glass looks like it's half empty, which is very embarrassing on a TV show. So I really give him a kick up the arse when I when I get off the air, because he's a bit of a naughty boy. Yeah. So cheers to you, and cheers to me, and cheers to me.
Wunderbar.
That is all that we have to agree. But we thank Winford for his lovely participation in this.
Yeah, and thank you for it. Very nice. Very good.
This was just a random conversation, and we will do more, but we will announce in future when we're going to do it. But this was just yes, I know lots of you love it. Thank you for all your love. We love you too. You're all lovely people. Okay, pip, and take care, and happy days. Bye-bye.